G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video I have a unbox and build video of something that's going to be a little bit different than what you've been seeing lately. So it is an unbox and build of a re-release of the Kyosho Optima Mid 4-wheel drive buggy. So instead of just me flapping my gums here, let's go over to the workbench and I'll show you what it is and what you need. Alright guys, here it is. This is the Kyosho Optima Mid. Like I said, this is a re-release of this car. So the original one came out in the 1980s. So that gives you an idea of how old it is, or how old the design is rather. So it is a 1/10 scale 4-wheel drive vintage buggy. Now, some of you are probably wondering, geez, what's possessed you to buy this? Well, thing is, if you scroll down through my videos far enough, you will see a few videos referred to as the Vintage Festival and the Vintage Enduro. There's a few videos on those two events, and I've been enjoying vintage RC racing since 2014, and I decided to get one of these because this year I will be able to go and do a vintage festival I think it's in November. So I have a couple of 4-wheel drive buggies, however parts for them are a little bit difficult to come by, and I can get parts for this directly from Japan. So this, like I said, this is 10 scale, it is 4-wheel drive, it is electric. So what we'll do is I will open the box and I'll show you what you get, and I'll tell you what you need. Alrighty, so this is in the box. So this is how everything was laid out back in the day when you would get your kit. So we have all our bearings, drive shafts, shock bodies, belts, gears. Here you can get a clear body. This is the body you get. Now, I'm not going to do the box art. I'm going to do something with this. I will leave it for the reveal to show you what I have in mind. In here you have your wheels and tires and various parts. I'm not going to go opening it all because it'll just be an absolute mess. Underneath here, because I have actually opened this and had a quick gander inside just to make sure everything was in here. So in here you have all your chassis parts and your springs and so forth down in there. Hopefully the camera is picking it up. And then last but not least, you have your instruction manual and stickers in this little packet here. So being a kit, there are things you will need. So you will need an electronic speed controller, a motor, a servo for steering, a battery, and you will also need your own radio and paint for the body. So those are the things that you need, and it's pretty straightforward. Also, pretty sure you will need a pinion gear for this as well. I haven't quite looked at the contents, but pretty sure you will need a pinion gear for the motor. So what I'm going to do, like normal guys, is I'm going to set up my camera on time-lapse, and I'm going to do a time-lapse build. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. guys, the buggy is finished. It is painted. Now, I did say at the beginning of this video that I kind of had something special planned for the shell. Unfortunately, things didn't quite go to plan with what I had intended, and unfortunately I didn't get to do what I wanted to do. So what I've done is I've done a basic paint scheme for the shell. The build itself went together pretty good. I did find the instructions to be a little vague here and there. Admittedly, it is a reproduction of a car from the 1980s as opposed to a car from now, so things back then were just as they were. So without any more flapping my gums, let's head over to the workbench and I'll show you the completed buggy. And here it is, guys. So this is the Kyosho Optima Mid. So like I said, I had things planned for the shell. It didn't eventuate. As I always do with these builds, I usually do the chassis first, or just film the assembly of the chassis and leave things like the majority of the electronics and the body painting and that to the off camera, and then you get to see it at the end. So yeah, like I said, the kit, it went together pretty well. I had to what do you call it, improvise with a few things, but other than that, it went together pretty damn good. So the shell I've done in a Tamiya iridescent purple, not purple, pink gold, and just with some some basic stripes. Like I said, guys, I had something planned for it, but things didn't happen the way I wanted, and so we're with this. So what I'll do is I will take off the shell and I will show you underneath with what I've used. So the wiring is a little bit of a mess at the moment, but I will tidy that up shortly or later on. So what I've done is, for electronics, I have a high-tech low-profile servo. I'm thinking I might change that out later on. It doesn't seem to have a lot of steering speed. I'm not using my Futaba radio like the one over in the corner there. I'm using my FS, my FlySky FS GT3C. This is the radio that I use with my vintage cars. So I have the FlySky receiver in there. Now, this is where it's going to be getting interesting. So the ESC I have is a Moped V16 ESC. It's a brushed ESC, and if we turn it around here, you will see I have a Johnson silver can motor. Now, I know some of you guys that watch this channel are probably thinking, why the hell have you decided to put that motor in there? Why not put like a Castle Creation system in it, or a Team Orion system or something like that? Well, there's a very good reason why I've gone for this electronic setup. As I mentioned in the video, you will, if you go far enough back through the videos that I've uploaded over the years, you will see a few videos referring to a vintage festival and a couple of videos referring to a vintage enduro. Now, for the vintage festival, the whole idea of the vintage festival is to race in classes as they were run back in the day. So I have this car set up for four-wheel drive stock. Now, four-wheel drive stock back in the day wasn't the rebuildable, well, your basic stock class wasn't a rebuildable motor. It was a simple silver can motor with a sealed end bell, and you would go to the hobby shop and you would ask for one of these motors, and the guy behind the shop, behind the counter, would pull out a tray full of these motors, and that was your stock motor, because that is generally the kind of motor that would come with a kit. So this is what I have it set up for. It is for vintage stock, or four-wheel drive vintage stock, and that's the class it's going to be run in. So it's a nice kit. It was pretty easy to put together. Probably the most frustrating thing to put together on it was with the belt guards here on the top and bottom here. There's like foam that you have to put around the edge to help seal it from dust. That was probably the most annoying thing. Apart from that, I mean, it went together pretty sweet. There was no issues. There was no parts missing. Got stuff hanging around here. At the moment, I've just got a reedy stick pack in there, and I'm going to, for racing, not going to use these wheels and tires. I'll probably just keep them as they are, just for the shelf. Now you're probably going to be wondering, when are we going to see it run? Well, hopefully not long after I finish filming this, I will film a running video of it at my local track. It will just be by itself going around the track. Other than that, when you get to see it race will be at the Vintage Festival, which will be in November. So guys, that is the end of this video. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you have any questions about the car, the electronics I'm using, anything like that, don't hesitate to comment down below. I will do my best to answer your questions. And until then guys, enjoy your hobby and cheers.